It's showtime, folks!
Welcome. It has been a while. 4 months now, I think. Last time I streamed. So I got a couple of guests coming in. Don't know how long it'll be before they get here. But until then, you're hanging with me, Drew. Who we got in the chat? We got Embargo97. Good to see you, bud. He's probably gonna hop on here too. Jeff Morris is in the house. Good to see you, bud. And Jimmy Purvis, the anticipation is killing me. Jason, good to see you. Ted, good to see you. Okay, a little heads up with this stream. My computer sucks, and if you're a part of the 3POA members after stream the other night, not the one last night, but like Wednesday when I was on, my camera kept shutting off. Well, that's still happening all day trying to prep for this. It's been happening. So it's probably going to happen from time to time. I'll just have to basically go off camera, unplug it, plug it back in. So bear with me there. This computer is a piece of crap. It's almost 20 years old. I actually have a new computer ordered. So hopefully soon it'll be on my doorstep and I'll be able to have a lot better speed, a lot of better options in the future. But I have missed streaming. But it has been so busy the past 4 months, and it's still busy. But with the Christmas holidays, I was able to fit in a time. I was going to stream yesterday, but Michael French was streaming, and then 3POA, and I just didn't want to step on any toes there. Plus, I wanted to go watch them too. So how is everybody today? Sorry, I'm getting notifications on my phone. Yeah. No chat right at the moment. Okay. Well, as you can see, I laid out a bunch of recent pickups. I say recent, probably in the last month or so. I've picked these up, and so I haven't shown anything in a while. So there's a bunch to show, and I was gonna kind of go over some of the stuff that I picked up, and also if Chad and Embargo get here, we'll have a chat and chat with you guys too. So Jeff says, are those the Lord of the Rings figures from Diamond Select? How do you like them? Have been tempted to buy them. I have mixed feelings on them. I do like them, but I'm scared to buy them. And the reason why, the face sculpts aren't the greatest, but they're passable and they look good enough to have. They have accessories. Like he has his sword, but he also comes with, you can swap out with the Return of the King sword. I don't know their names. I'm not that deep into it. I just love the movies. So I only have 3 figures, technically 2 at the moment. I got the Urukai. It comes with a swappable head and weapons and some hands. Comes with a spear. And another head there. And but yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can build Thoron. I got a hand and a foot there. Embargo, I see you. I'll let you in just a sec. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that. Ed, what's up, bud?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can't. There we go. But as I was saying, I have mixed feelings on these. So, how's my sound?
It sounds good to me.
Okay, because I got the TV right behind the microphone. So, I bought this figure too. All of them from Big Bad Toy Store. It looks even better than the Aragorn. But the problem is, you can't really see it there. But as soon as I pulled him out of the package, his arm fell off, and I felt like I had to heat up both of these figures because I felt like I was going to break their pegs in their arms trying to bend them and everything.
Those are the Diamond Select ones, the new ones.
Yeah, Diamond Select. So they are a lot cheaper way to get them. Considering what's out there, unless you want the old Toy Biz or to spend like $100 for just this one and Gollum, you're
Well, those Toy Biz ones are getting so sticky now with that plastic that they used.
yeah. Well, I want some good Lord of the Rings figures, and I mean this will pass for now. I'm gonna try to get the Fellowship, and then I'll expand from there as I go. But overall, I like them. The detail on them is really good. I mean, there's like writing on the swords. You can't really tell there, but actually, I forgot I had this. Oh, let me add. I got a second camera. Is it on there? Let me swap this. Where's the camera? Can't tell if you can see it or not, but
a little bit. The quality's not.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
But yeah, they're, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying this. Nikatrona says, "Hey Drew, hey chat. George Akins is here. Good to see you. Big M." And Jeff's replying, "Okay, yes, that is what I had heard about those Lord of the Rings figures. Good, but not great. And the head sculpts can be a little iffy. The head sculpts on the Uruk-hai look great. And I think Aragorn was one of the first. So I think they're improving as they go. They're getting better. So I got to get a few more to really fill it out. Let's move back. See how my camera froze? See that? I hate that.
Yep.
That's probably going to happen a lot throughout the stream. I'll just do this. You can still hear me, but I just have to freaking unplug this thing over and over again. It's never done that before until recently.
Maybe your cord's bad.
God, I hope not. I haven't had it that long. Give it a second, it'll come back. So how you been, man?
I've been busy. Funnily enough, we just were, speaking of Lord of the Rings, I just was showing my wife those movies for the first time over the last couple weekends.
Yeah.
She'd
it
never
takes that
seen
long.
them.
What'd she think?
She couldn't believe how long they were because, I showed the extended cuts. But
you have to. The theatrical is just not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to watch them, watch them. The only one you can shorten is really The Hobbit. If you watch There and Back Again, the cut of all three films put together.
Yeah.
The only problem with that one is the pacing. 1 minute they're one spot, and the next minute they're like all the way at another spot. So, but other than that, it's pretty good. Heard that.
Yeah. We're barking at something.
So have you picked up anything lately? I don't want to be the only one showing stuff.
I got a couple. I've got a couple things.
No, I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff recently.
Yeah, I got some carded Palatoy Action Force stuff. Got the
Yeah, I'm
Space
jealous.
Security Trooper, and then the Deep Sea Defender from Q Force. So
Dang. Yeah, I've never dipped my toe in the 80s Action Force.
they came up and they were a great price, so I couldn't pass up on them.
Well, that's good. Check out this shirt I got for Christmas.
Nice.
My wife gave it to me. We have weenie dogs, so it's like I don't know if you can see it really well, but it's like got special ops gear. I don't know what it's
Tactical
called.
wiener dogs.
Tactical gear. There we go. George says he's got 10 carded. How do you say that? Mutons.
Mutons. Well, of course George does. George has 10 of everything.
George has probably the biggest collection of Action Force I've ever seen.
Probably.
If he had a warehouse, he could set up like a tables like Lego people do,
Mm-hmm.
and put just a huge battle scene with all the stuff. He's probably got small versions of that, but I could see a whole bunch there. So yeah, next up, what do you want to look? What you want to look at on the table?
Whatever. Looks like you got some Kenner Star Wars stuff too.
I did get Kenner Star Wars. These Kenner Star Wars figures up here are my cousin's. When he was little, these were his Star Wars figures. It's the only ones he has left. I know he had more because I remember playing with them when I was little. He's the reason I loved the Star Wars. But he's kept them in his closet, wrapped up in this blanket, for since the 80s when he became a teenager, and because he's older than me, and I begged him for years to get them and from him, and he's just wouldn't let him go. And then this Christmas he gifted them to me. So there were some good ones in here. The most, I think all of these I already had, but I was able to update a few with like he's got better versions. So plus you got the Stormtrooper and the Jawa you can add. Plus the Greedo is a different version than the one that I have. So I have two variants
I know
of that now.
Kenner has a ton of different versions on some of that Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to get that. I was hoping he still had his R2D2 and R5D4. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you could hear that, but
I think you got a notification.
Yeah, I don't know how to shut that off. I started doing that when I signed on to Facebook one day on my computer, and ever since it's just logged in to every time I get a notification. Every time y'all send a chat through the through our group message, I get a notification. So if Suka or anyone else starts chatting away, I'm gonna get like 400 of them. So okay, where am I at? Jimmy says Drew has a bountiful harvest, a virtual cornucopia of new stuff in front of him. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I enjoy it. Jeff says I only need the last 17 figures for the Kenner line. I just can't make myself pay the silly prices for them. Yeah, I get it. I was very blessed. What was it, a year ago now? 2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
You were on the stream, weren't you?
No, I think it was Chad and Scuba.
Scuba, I know Scuba came in. I thought for some reason you were on there too, but I guess not. But yeah, I remember Scuba popped in. Chad was on there. I got 14 of the last 17 with weapons.
So where are you at in relation to the whole line? How many figures do you have?
That's a good question. I need to figure that out. I don't know. I have some that I need to replace, like with better versions, like my Princess Leia horrible figure, horrible shape, no weapon, no coat or cape or whatever you call it. Couple other ones. My version 1 R2D2s. I have like 3 of them, and they all look like crap. I can probably restore them, but I don't know. So you don't hear that, did you? I don't know
I
what
didn't
that
hear
was.
anything.
So yeah, I need Stormtrooper Luke, Han and Carbonite, and I want to say what's the European one? Not Walrus Man, but Yak Face.
Oh yeah,
I think those are the only 3 I'm missing.
from the last 17.
Yeah, and I've seen 2 of those on many occasions. I'm not paying $200 for them. But I think I've only seen Yak Face once outside of personal collections like Michael
Yeah.
French or somebody. But yeah, man, I've missed streaming. I just have not had the time. Anyway,
Yeah, canon Star Wars is not something that I've ever delved into. Probably something I never will delve into. If I do anything Star Wars, it's probably gonna be Power of the Force 2.
you will if you get an
Well,
opportunity like I did
yeah,
to
I mean
get
that's
as much as I did, because I only had like a small amount and some figures with no weapons scraped
yeah,
up. So I was just kind of just picking them up as I go at a cheap price, and when I got that, they were like perfect. Not
yeah,
every one of them were perfect, but a lot of them were in really good condition, vehicles and playsets and figures. That I mean, I have to be in it now.
yeah.
So add those to what I already had, and I have a substantial collection. I'd have probably 60% of the whole line now, and I probably got 50% on that one shot.
Yeah, that one stream pretty much gave you more than what most people wish they had.
Right. Now you've been collecting the core. Have you gotten any more from that?
Let me grab.
George Aiken says Yak Face, the only figure never released in the US way back in '86. I could have picked him up for 89 pence, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Wow. Jeff says Kenner Star Wars was my first toy line as a kid, so it will always be my favorite. Yeah, I know I've told this story on here, but my cousins, these were my cousin's figures, but my camera froze. See, this aggravates me. I can't wait to have a new computer. But yeah, my cousin had his Star Wars figures when I was little, and I used to play with them anytime I went to go visit. And he had the X-wing. Well, he gave me his X-wing when I was little, and I played with that thing with every toy line I had. So I mean, it was a lot of fun to play with. And then one day, my mom, while I was at school, gave it to Goodwill or Salvation Army or somewhere. Maybe sold it in the yard sale. I don't know. We struggled sometimes back in that time. So she would make room for new stuff to come in and get rid of some of the old stuff. But I never let that go with her. She's always heard it from me.
Well, that's the one thing my mom said is when she saw, how into this stuff I still am. She's like, man, I wish I would have kept more of your stuff.
Yeah, mine too. Whenever I have kids, I'll probably do that. I'll probably box up a lot of their toys and stuff so they can, when they get older, if they want to keep it, they can. If they don't, they can
Well,
sell
yeah,
it, give it away, whatever
make
they
it
want.
their decision.
Right. It was theirs in the first place, so that's the way I feel about it. Where is Chad? He said he was going to the grocery store and then he would hop on, but that was at like 2 o'clock.
So you asked me about the core, so I picked
Yeah,
up a
yeah.
couple.
Hold on, let me trade you out real quick. I'm trying. It's not. There it goes.
I got this version of Foolproof.
Ooh.
His thumbs are broken, but you don't ever see the bronze versions of these figures come up. He was just in a lot. Also, that lot had this version.
Oh, that one looks good.
Lars Laser with it. So,
See, I'm not familiar with the line other than what I've
yep.
learned from your videos.
Yeah, so I'm just at this point. There's just maybe 15 or more of the rare variants that I'm looking for on some of the ones. So they just don't pop up that often, and so
Yeah, they look good. I remember them when I was little, but I always thought they were the knockoffs. So
well,
I didn't really.
that's what I am is the knockoff guy now. I've also been getting into this U.S. Forces line of figures.
Nice.
So just more,
I think that the core line was a lot better than people thought, and I don't think so today. But
well,
hello, collect to disconnect. I can't talk. Sorry. But yeah, the figures I've seen are on par with G.I. Joe.
yeah. I mean, they've got fragile thumbs, but so did Joe.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things actually is the vehicles. So I just got an extra one of these for whatever reason. Just
Nice.
a field transport truck. So
Is that core?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, typically when stuff pops up, especially if it's my local stores, I'll just grab it just to grab it because I don't see it that often. But
See, core figures were always cheaper, but it's aftermarket. I feel like they jump up in price.
well, it depends. I mean, some of the vehicles, some of the newer stuff is really expensive because it didn't get released in the US. So people paid to import it and then are recharging higher prices. But I mean,
Gotcha.
a lot of the stuff, some of the older stuff, they made it in such high quantities. It might be rare, but it's not necessarily valuable.
Right.
So,
What is your feeling on the new stuff?
so my issue with the new stuff is they're basically just recycling the same figure molds that they've been using since 2003.
Yeah.
Like, and I would just like to see some new stuff, especially because they're still using some of those static bodies that I don't like, where they're like
Right.
pre-posed, and I just don't have any need for those. But
Yeah,
I'm an O-ring guy, so
I think the vehicles are really good.
yeah.
Visually.
Well, and that
In the
rock
hand,
place,
they're very
yeah,
cheap feeling.
the rock playset that they put out's pretty good.
I want that one. I wish they would re-release that and the
I believe it is getting re-released in the next year, from what I've
and
heard.
the I call it the Expendables plane, the one with the guns.
Yeah, the Beast Bomber.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Those ones show up fairly often at like toy shows and stuff, though.
Yeah, I've never thought to look there. But yeah, I haven't seen one in years. I've seen the tanks and stuff. I have, like, they've had some good. What?
I was gonna say I think there was one at DFW because I think just Jeff sent me a picture of it and asked if I needed it. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, they've had some good lines. They just, like you said, they just recycle the same crap
well, yeah.
over
I mean,
and
let
over
me
again.
grab.
Like I have some of the King Kong Skull Island figures.
Yeah, so this figure is from 2003, and they're
Mhm.
still using this torso and legs.
With a
Or
different head.
basically, uh, I think they might have finally retired the head, but
Yeah, I haven't seen that head. I have a box full. I put them all away, because I just have any use for them. They just don't. I don't know. I feel like their O-ring figures were much better quality.
well, that's what I think is they don't, they're a company is mostly based out of China, and I don't think they really realize that the market for O-ring figures are kind of coming back. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
would
if they
like to
took
see
out
them.
their old stuff, that'd be awesome.
Well, that's why,
I,
like, because they're doing an anniversary wave, but all of it is like mostly newer stuff. I'm like, put some of the O-ring stuff back out.
I am change what? Um, I'm a modern lover more than a O-ring, but I mean, I love the old O-ring
Mm-hmm.
GI Joes, but I love the old GI Joe O-rings.
Yeah.
Like I got the new
The Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters figures, and here I'll put this camera on. Um, and I think they look great, but I wish they weren't O-ring.
I mean, I
Or-
like that they were O-ring, but I still think it's a weird choice that they went O-ring.
right, and a lot of people do. They love the O-ring figures, but I prefer the 25th and 50th anniversary GI Joe style,
Yep, the
or
hyper
the
articulated.
4-inch Marvel Legends style. Yeah, they're more articulated. You can pose them and everything, and you don't have to replace the O-ring every so often.
Yeah.
Like some of these figures, I've replaced a bunch, but you're like, it's like dismantling a bomb every time you try to fix one because you twist the wrong way or hit that metal piece on the crotch the wrong way, and that crotch
Yeah.
goes flying. And it's a risk every time you do it, and it just gets worse and worse every single time. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I just prefer the new style. It's updated and it's better in my opinion. But said, I love the old style GI Joe and the old style core,
Yeah.
and I will pick those up every day. I just don't want the new stuff to be. But if it
That
is like
makes
GI
sense.
Joe, I buy it. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, it makes sense. I mean, I think, you know, some people just think that, the O-ring is out of date. I don't. For me, they've just got this they've got a charm to them, and that's what draws me to them. But
I'll agree.
and I gotta put the foot down somewhere. I
Right.
can't say I'm gonna do everything. I don't have 5 rooms in my basement.
Yeah, you should. You got a nice size room though.
I do. I wish I have a split level house, so the basement's only under one half of the house. I really wish it was the full basement, but
Let me turn that around. So, I mean, you just get like the modern, like you said, is very stylized and uh yeah, it
well, I
looks
think the
it
benefit that
looks
you have
good.
with the modern construction is most modern construction figures are all built the same. So modern construction Star Wars, modern construction GI Joe can all kind of coexist a little bit more than vintage Joe, vintage Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about them. I know I think Chad's the same way. He prefers the modern over the O-ring, but he loves his O-ring too. So the chat is slow. Come on, guys. Y'all join the conversation. Turn that on. That one's good. Okay. Light behind me. Oh, camera's dead again.
Huh.
I swear, I hate. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, it's like it just freezes. Like if you move too much, it like stops tracking.
Oh. Anyway. George says, oh, now my computer's being weird. Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. George says, I mostly collect the modern Star Wars vintage collection. I did, George, till they outpriced me. They're just ridiculous now. I mean, like
Well, I think
$17, $18.
George just got the Ghost, I think. Yep, that's what he said.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Master Son was messaging me, telling me he got it, but I haven't seen it out yet. He just showed me the box. Yeah, he got it last week, he says. There it goes. Close that one out. So how was your Christmas?
Uneventful.
Uneventful?
Yeah, there's not really any kids in my family or anything right now, so it's kind of just, Christmas is just kind of whatever.
Well, we don't have kids yet, so I have nieces, so I bought for them.
Well, I have nephews, but they're Jewish, so.
Gotcha. Well, Christmas is for everyone. And they get hate crazy nights. Jeff says, I think you can get too much articulation in 1/18th figure, and it just makes for more potential problems.
Yeah, I think there's a sweet spot. Like I think those Haya Joes might have too many points of articulation, where then they'll become a little more fragile. But
Yeah, I don't have any Haya Joes, but good transition. I do have Haya Godzilla, and these are pretty freaking awesome.
those are widely available. Those aren't like Asian specific, like limited, right? You can get those in U.S. stores.
No, you can get those. You can get them on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, even Amazon.
Okay.
So it's just what's available, and there's a lot. There's a lot of pre-orders coming up. I've only gotten 3. I've got the King of the Monsters Ghidorah, but I got the gold version because he's always been gold, and it looks really good. And it came with the blast effects, so it just looked really good like that. I don't know if you saw my short from yesterday. I think I made.
I might have. I don't know. I've been super busy. I've been kind of unplugged from a lot of
Fine,
stuff.
don't watch my stuff. Jeez.
I haven't watched. I didn't even watch. I still have yet to watch last night's 3POA.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. The Brian went really long on the after show.
Well, that's why I saw. It was like the main show was 2.5 hours, and the after show was like 3 hours.
Yeah, I think it's
Give me
just fun
something.
hanging out with
Give me
Alex.
something. Yeah, give me something in the background to watch at work tomorrow.
Yeah, him talking with Alex and stuff. They have a lot of history with streaming in the past, and with Bobby and everything. So they have a good chemistry, and they talk a lot. It was fun to listen to. Go back to chat. George says, I got a retro classified stalker figure last year. Those elbows broke. Retro classified stalker. The
lighter green one.
The Hasbro one?
I think that's what he's.
That's what that one
retro,
is.
The retro carded classified. Stalker, I think.
Or Classified. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I have that one too. It's right here. Well, you probably can't see that. Talking about that one.
Maybe.
Is my top camera on?
Yeah, it's still on right now.
You can see me? Okay. Because I'm looking at this screen and it's black. That's what threw me off. Yeah. Sorry if I'm butts on the camera. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, he said there was a 4-inch retro one.
George says, "What toys are you looking forward to next year?" You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything specific. I mean, I guess some of the Kickstarter lines I'm hoping really start fulfilling this year. But that's kind of the nice thing about me not really buying a whole lot of modern stuff right now.
Right.
Is it's just kind of what shows up, what I can get. What shows up. Like I said, I've been kind of falling more into the Palatoy stuff. So whatever I can, find Palatoy wise, I've been trying to pick up.
Yeah.
More more knockoff toys.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I'm a nostalgia mark, so I buy a lot of. I like the original stuff, like classified or not classified. The retro Kenner Star Wars figures.
Mm-hmm.
And I love collecting things I had as a kid, but I also like collecting the new stuff that I had as a kid, like or things that I loved as a kid, like the
Ghostbusters,
superpowers or Ninja Turtles or wrestlers, Godzilla, things that were a part of my past. So it's hard to focus on one when they're releasing now new stuff, and you're like, I want to get this old stuff, but I have this, and there's like all this. There's so much in so many directions, and I do not have. I know I have a lot of stuff, but this is an accumulation of years of stuff and an opportunity to display it all. So it's not. It's not like I'm like rolling in dough. I wish I was. Hopefully, one day, I'm working on it. If I can stay focused
gotta win.
on the
Gotta
goal.
win the Mega Millions.
Yeah, or that. But I have to budget my money just right. So, and if we add children in the mix in the future, that budget slims even further. So,
what budget? You won't have a budget anymore.
we'll see. but yeah. See, Jeff says, clicked on it. There it goes. When they started talking about the Snyder movies, I was out. I like some of those movies, but I have no desire to continue to debate about them so many years after the fact. Yeah, it's just fun to argue with your friends about things you disagree with. That's the fun of it. It wasn't who was right and who was wrong. I think they were both on the same page. Honestly, even when Chad came in and they were talking about it, I mean, they all agreed Henry Cavill was an amazing Superman with bad writing, and so it was like, yeah, y'all do realize you are agreeing. You're just arguing about it. It's just a matter of liking the movie versus not liking the movie. So, but it didn't bother me. It's fun to listen to him. Jimmy says, I just took all of my 95 to 2010 Star Wars 118 to Toy Federation and sold them. Most were still boxed or carded. Nice. Maybe that'll be in one of his episodes.
Yeah, we're going to see an episode.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. How far are you from there? I know Scott Hughes lives near there.
Yeah, that's Scott's local store.
Yeah. I didn't get last time I was there. They were at the convention, so they were closed.
Toy-Con, Retro Toy-Con.
Retro Toy, is it RetroCon or Retro Toy-Con or whatever it is? It was fun. I met Drunk 3PO, Jay. I don't know if you watch his channels. He's like 15 channels. I just found that out, but I met him up there. It was pretty. He was really nice. And Jeff's just congratulating him. Oh, Junkion's in the house. George says, I grew up in the 80s. The toy owls were great, spoiled for choice.
Yep.
Yeah. Toy owls in the 80s were just so much better. Oh my God. It was like, I mean, you had one half of the aisle, one side of the aisle was just G.I. Joe. Then the next half was like G.I. Star Wars. Then you, on the other side, you had half of that Batman. Then the next half was Turtles. And you had to go to another aisle just to see any other toy lines like Masters of the Universe or
yeah, it's a shame what toy. I mean, there's like one action figure aisle now at most stores. So if you're lucky,
well, I was just having a talk with my wife. You know, we were watching a week or so ago the Jingle All the Way, and we're trying to get Turbo Man in the stores. I said that would never happen today because stores don't have enough to fight over. I mean,
it's
get
fighting the
2 to
online
3.
scalpers on Pulse.
Yeah, you may get 2 to 3 of a toy in a store, but I mean, there's not. They don't put out a bunch of stuff anymore unless it's like Lego or Nerf. And I just
Even
don't see
that
people
Nerf, you
rushing
don't
to
even
the
see a whole
store.
lot of Nerf anymore.
It's slimming down. It's because they don't know what they want to do with it. I mean,
Yeah, you go down the Nerf aisle and it's more of the not Nerf toys than it is Nerf toys now.
you're right, and they keep trying to update and change the bullets, so you can't utilize them with the other guns. So you
Yep.
try to get the new bullets, and you're like, okay, now you have a bigger size bullet. Now you have a half a size bullet with a little tiny little thing on it. Then you have the balls. Then it's so you're not compatible in that area, and I think it's because the other companies are trying to come up with they're coming out with stuff that's cheaper to buy in bulk, and it's
Well, I
just
think
as good as their quality.
Hasbro's very opposed to anything that resembles actual firearms now. So there, you get just these really weird things, and I don't think kids like them as much.
No, I've been to Nerf parties, and they have guns that like you go to try to load them, and it takes forever to try to load the bullets, and then they want to do this like flip thing to shoot one bullet, and it gets 99% of the time it gets caught halfway around, so it doesn't work. It's like just make a Nerf gun that people can shoot. That's all the kids want.
So
Something fun.
they try too hard, and it's not. But like simple is better sometimes.
Right? George says, as soon as a kid turns up the room, you'll will be in nursery, and those toys will be on eBay. No, that won't happen. Jimmy per an hour 50. Oh, from Toy Federation. I got you.
It's not
Oh,
bad.
Scott's in the house. Shh. No more talking about him. Jimmy says, I don't think they filmed my scale.
Sale at Toy Fed.
Oh, I got you. Good. I got you. B. Conley in the house, finishing some home projects. Just wanted to stop by and say hello. Good to see you, bud. Glad you're here. Hey, you got to come on here sometime. George says Star Wars Action Horse, Masters of the Universe, 18, not to mention Action Man. On your toy house when you were little? I got you. Your holiday card should be arriving soon. I'm not jealous.
Yeah, it's really a shame how far toy aisles have fallen. Even in the early to mid 2000s, they were still pretty solid toy aisles. It wasn't until around 2010.
Yeah, you're right. Well, can you see me?
I think you're frozen again.
Okay, I'm going to put this one on right now. Right now, my screen looks like this. Yeah. At least some interaction with y'all when this kind of crap happens. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on there.
I think your little camera's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. If this thing kicks back on, it's going to probably create some feedback. But I got that. Yeah. I swear I cannot wait for my computer to come in. This thing has been nothing but a pain in the butt. Trying to watch stuff on this computer constantly. Yep, that just happened. So glad I had a backup. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, it works on here too.
Hey, Lou.
Lou says, "Hey fellas, good to see you guys. Good to see you, Lou. Glad to have you here." And Scott says, "You guys would have fainted at 1983 Kmart Toy Aisles." At the at or at?
Probably regardless. Probably would have been like 10 AT-ATs on the shelves.
At yeah, I got one. They're nice. I still play stuff on my old PC from the 90s. Yeah, I'm trying to enter the studio over there. Lou says, "It seems like the shift from 118 to 112 really changed the toy aisle." Well, that was Hasbro. I mean, they just gave up on their 118th and started pushing, because I think Marvel Legends were such a success that they were like.
Well, I think it's when Disney bought Lucasfilm and they switched Star Wars away from what they were doing. Basically, it was the same time that they tried to kill G.I. Joe again. And then Marvel Legends had switched to the 6-inch scale. It was all right around the same time.
Yeah.
So just all of those factors rolled into one. Boom. Toy aisles sparse.
Well, I guess since I got the screen here, I'll go over a few things while this is trying to reboot. I'll come back to the Godzilla. I know we started talking about Godzilla, but
Gojira.
Can't really see it on the screen. I don't want to pick those up. So I'll show you Gumby. I got Gumby.
Oh, you got a Gumby.
He moves. It's pretty cool.
Is it new or is it an older version of Gumby?
It is. It came in a box with the 1950s. It says complete series 1950s show.
Mm-hmm.
I call BS because I've looked at the episodes and it seems to skip every other episode, and they're only half of what was originally on there. Well, looks like I'm back up here. So, but I used to love watching the New Adventures of Gumby in the 80s when I was little. So
I feel like every Gumby figure toy has been the same forever.
there it goes. Good. I muted that one. So I'll mute that one for him. But yeah, I need to turn this one down so I don't hear myself. Let's see.
You got a
And
lot of turtles there too, huh?
yeah, Chad is late.
Maybe he thought it was 5 o'clock his time.
No, because he asked me Eastern. Yeah, let's talk some turtles. We'll talk some turtles. Actually, I only have one thing Action Force on there, so I'm gonna show that off. I got the new head and put the got the blowback.
Yep.
Blowback body, the sniper, and put that on there. I would love to get one of these heads with Tony Desert Rat and put it on there because he used to wear something, or just make a new figure with his get up with the camo. That would be cool.
Yeah,
because I made the Arctic Desert Rat, Arctic Rat, I guess. I don't know what you would call him, but it was the one he made. What is George says? I think he wants to sublet my volcano layer.
Chad does.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I still haven't opened that head pack yet. It's still.
Yeah, I bought two of them, and the problem with the head packs that I'm seeing, I love them, but you can't get the figures to unless you just take the figures you already have and replace the heads. And
Yeah, because a lot of Series 1 and 2 figures.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want my figures the way I originally got them to be that way, and then get another one to have with that head sculpt. Um, George says something that I took away from the screen. Of course, if he doesn't have the $10 million, I'm open to offers. I'll give you $8.
Not million.
Exactly. I guess with turtles we can. I recently picked up the NECA Rat King. It was at my Walmart. It came with two mice or rats, but I only have the one here. The other one's still on the shelf. But it looked good. It has another head that looks more like the cartoon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked this one, so I just put him there. But that's the only new NECA one I've picked up recently. Going to original cartoon, the loyal subjects. What is it? Best decks or something.
I'm not sure.
Not the greatest, but they're not bad either.
Turtles goes a little over my head. I'm familiar with it, like the 2003 toy line, and that's about it.
Well, this is the, what is it, Bebop? Not a bad figure. Loose joints. No ball pegs.
4-inch figures?
No, they're, well, maybe 5. I don't know. Let's see. Compared, so I'd say 5.
Yeah.
They're not 6. That's for sure. Because I mean that's that looks to be about 5 inches right there. Well, I mean, hold on. Let me get Action Force back out.
Yeah, maybe like 4.75.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Weird
smaller
scale.
Yeah, and the plastic just feels like it's going to snap if it gets tight. And I've had that problem with a couple of these figures, but I didn't have it with this one. But like especially right here on all of the figures, it just seems the way they got the peg when you try to not necessarily maneuver this one, it usually works really well. But when you try to lift the arm and it's tight, Like you can see right here as I try to pull it down,
Yep, it's got put that stress on it.
put the stress on it. Yeah. And that's a problem with all of them that I'm seeing. So you have to kind of put pressure on the whole arm as you do that. Like I thought this one, I love these figures. The sculpt and everything is so good. And theirs are a
So
lot thicker, but I was having the same problem with the arms.
what is
On this.
that? What is that turtle based off of?
Okay, the first two I showed you were from the 80s cartoon.
Yep.
80s to the 90s cartoon. These are from the IDW comics. This is Leonardo when he went to the Foot Clan. I
So is
forgot
that
what
like a current run of comics, or
they've been running for the past could be 10 years now.
okay?
I mean, they're way past 100 or whatnot. After 100, I'm not really sure, but they had, like, I have other figures. Like, this is Donatello with tools and stuff. He has his regular shell, but if you get the action, this one came with a 2-pack with Metalhead.
Okay.
Metalhead has interchangeable parts with like gun, like you see that gun. He has another hand. He also comes with wheels to go on his feet and his hands, and you can see a little compartment right there that creates another piece. Here, I'll just show you. I got the box right here. Oh. He comes with the accessories in the 2-pack,
Okay.
but you can see right there where he turns into like a vehicle where like Donatello can grab his back and he races on the ground
Huh.
to get going pretty far. But he comes with all those accessories. And then
And you can find
Donatello,
these. You can find these at the store, or these like online only.
I bought these off of Amazon,
Okay.
but I have bought figures in Walmart, and sometimes I can find them at Ross and GameStop and stuff. But these specialty ones I haven't been able to find anywhere. But what I was going to say, in the comics, there's a time in the comics where Donatello almost dies, and he's supposed to be like a soft-shelled turtle, and his shell
Okay.
gets shattered. Well, he gets a rebuilt one that's like a metal plate shell, which the other turtle, the ones I have posed, have the metal on there.
Okay.
If you're really interested, I could go get it and show you, but if not, just move on from there. But they look really good. There's only a couple other figures that I don't have out of the line, but it's a really good comic run. Unrelated to anything else going on, but yeah. Let's see. See, Lou says, I popped that new carrot head on a Garrison Cavalry Trooper. Looks great. Yeah,
Yeah,
all
I think
about
I'm probably gonna put mine on the SDS version of Karak, since I've got the Series 1 and the SDS, so I'll use one of the alternates on one of those.
Jimmy says, I am changing out Action Force heads right now. Luckily, I bought 2 of each, so a new head works for me. Yeah, I have this one out right now that I have another in stored up, the re-release
Mm-hmm.
that I think I'm gonna finally open and put this head on. I've gotten a couple of the other ones, like the re-release of Carrick. I
Yep.
put on the new head sculpt with the scars. I put it on him and took the helmet off, so you see the scars. So he's up at the top up there, and I've gotten a couple of other troopers where I put the gas mask face on them
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and the Snow Steel Brigade General Commander or whatever, I put that one on there too. So, but yeah. Jimmy says, "What did you end up doing with all those elite Praetorians?" Talking to you or me?
I think he's talking to Jimmy.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Oh, that's why he says Jimmy. That makes sense. Gotta read the whole sentence. George says, I've got a couple of Valaverse Action Force figures, a signed Desert Rat, and a Desert Trooper. It's hard to get them over here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he still hasn't been able to get a UK vendor.
Yeah, that's so wild to me. I just really love this figure. It looks so good. And it feels good in your hand. This one doesn't feel cheap, although it does have the same issues. I had to heat up the arms.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Dang, Chad, hour and 10 minutes late. If you don't like me, just say so. Jeez. He says I have squads of 8 to 16 for all Action Force troop builders. I have 8 green and 8 red Praetorians. Red?
The standard ones.
They do have red. The black ones?
Yep.
With red. Yeah. I have 2 of each. I think I want to get 2 more of the regular ones. And then that way I have 4 of them and 8 elites. I finally got 2 of each of the swarm tracers with each helmet. So
what, you got 6 of them?
6 of them, two, and 2. So finally able to take care of that. But yeah, as far as turtles, that's all I have there. I know we already went to Star Wars, but have you ever picked up any of these figures? The
Those the
Galaxy
ones who's putting those out right now?
Jazzwares, I think.
Yeah, Jazzwares or Jax or someone.
I want to say it's Jazzwares. I got a box, but I may have taken it to the other room. But yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, I've seen them. I haven't picked any up, but
I didn't at first, but then I got some on clearance. Like I got like 2 AT-AT walkers and Slave One and the this one. And they just look so good, and they're so small that it's easier to get them. Some of the bigger ones cost a little too much, in my opinion, but I've been getting them on clearance and such. But yeah, they're just I just think they're really good. It's easier to display small vehicles, and I love the vehicles. So it's yeah, it's a nice. Well, I just not know everything. Okay, but yeah, I've quite enjoyed those. Well, anything else you've picked up, or I don't want to.
not really. I've kind of been a little more reserved on what I've been picking up lately, saving up for a couple bigger things that I want to get. So
I got you. Yeah, they were talking about Mezcos and Mayfix last night, and every time they do, I want them so bad, but I mean, it's so expensive. I mean, I could get one every now and then, but trying to keep up with a line and to go back and get the missing ones.
yeah.
George says, I still need more red shadows. Only have about 100.
Only about 100.
That's weak numbers, George. You need to up that. Is that the Action Fleet range from the 90s or the newer ones? It is the newer ones. It's they all have, let me pull it up. Like they have drivers and stuff very similar to the Action Fleet of the 90s.
I love that Action Fleet range.
They fill out of the seats, but it's got like four figures in there. Leia and Obi-Wan are getting it onto the back for some reason, but Han and Chewie right there. They look good. You can take off the I don't know if you can take off the gun, but somewhere around here you can. I don't really take them, obviously don't buy them to play with. I buy them to sit on the shelf and look at. There it goes. Yeah. But you can do play features and stuff with them. And I got the Ghost too. It's like $60, $70. And I got it at Walmart for $15. So
how much bigger is it than the Falcon?
Huh?
How much bigger is the Ghost compared to the Falcon?
It's better if I show you. I'll be right back.
Drew's got to go into his magical closet of every toy ever made.
What was that?
I said you got to go to your magical closet with every toy that you've ever made in there.
Not a closet. It's another room. Some of these have electronics where you can like put batteries in it and play and everything. Okay, there's the Ghost. Very good detail. And there's the Falcon.
Okay, so it's maybe about twice the plastic.
So yeah, I mean it's much bigger. There you go. And then you have the AT-AT walkers. So cool. Scott says there's a guy on eBay selling custom flight stands for the Micro Galaxy stuff. Nice. And George says except Palatoy.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Those are the one things you don't have, Drew. Palatoy stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything Palatoy. Oh, well, except for that Greedo, maybe a Palatoy. Not maybe this one. Yeah. What I was looking on there, they were saying that and I could be totally wrong, but it doesn't have the CC
The COO.
COO, yeah. It's like carved out of it. And they were saying ones with that maybe from Palatoy or something. I don't know. So that's the difference. Plus, there's the eyes are more vibrant and the bluish green color is a little more darker.
Interesting, but that one you said is from your cousin, right?
Not. Well, yeah, that one's my cousin's.
So that would be weird if you had a Palatoy one, right?
Unless I got them mixed up. I could have gotten the two mixed up by accident. But the other one would have been out of the big haul I got. So I don't know. I call this one an honorable mention, but this was a childhood Batra of mine that I bought a new one, or not a new one, but one off eBay that was broke, but it had all the leg pieces, and I was able to replace this piece down here and put the legs in here.
Huh.
So I was able to fix this. So it's
Who made that? Is that
Trendmaster.
Trendmasters?
Yeah, the wings move like there's a battery spot and everything, but this one doesn't have any electronics in it. They made like 3 versions of this, reusing the same mold, one with electronics, one without, and another one, I forgot what was different, but it was in some kind of specialty box. So they had a lot of different versions. I call it honorable mention because I already owned it, but it is good. Let's see. Okay, chat's good. Okay, going back to the Godzilla, I was thinking about doing an episode where I kind of go through this stuff, but I know I said I got 3 Haya Toys figures. I have the Godzilla from this is from the what is it, New Empire?
The newest one, or
Yeah. And I mean, it's a good figure. It feels like the old NECA ones, but it's bigger and they move just a little bit better. In my opinion. Now, hopefully they don't break on me or anything. I don't plan on like Godzilla toys. I'm not really trying to get into a fight stance or anything. I want to get some of the others and stuff. And I also got the Kong from Godzilla versus Kong. He's pretty good too. Pretty good articulation for the most part, but again, not really. No, I like them though. I've never had the SH Monster Art figures, so I don't know what the comparison there is. But the I don't know. They do look bigger than those, and I do have a bunch of the NECA ones before they discontinued of the Godzillas. But my Godzilla from the King of the Monsters fell off the shelf and his leg broke. So, but he's significantly smaller than these. Next, I have the 3 easiest ones to get, in my opinion, right now. And they're really cool, and I wish they would market them. They have a couple of problems with them that are minor, but they need to be marketing these to kids. You can find them at Walmart in the collectible area by the movies.
Yep.
You can literally take the jaw off, and it's got the mouth, and put another piece on there where he just has his mouth open.
Or his atomic blast. Yep.
Yeah, which you can see with this one. I didn't put on there for reasons I'll tell you in a second. But this is, I have the 3 versions they've released so far. They're only $25. They're made by Bandai, and it's literally the 2002 Mecha Godzilla, the 2023 Godzilla from Godzilla -1, and Godzilla 2004 from I want to say not Final Wars, maybe Final Wars. They come in the boxes just like this. Like you can see the little jaw down in there.
Yep.
Or maybe you can't. But they each come with that and a blast effect. And they look like they're going to have more. They're very articulated, but that's one of the problems. The pieces just fall off. It comes with one of the legs off in the package. So they
probably get it into a
smaller
box.
Yeah. Well, they just come up so you can put them in the package easier like that. and then you just take the leg and put them on. So it's not bad there, and that happens a lot too. Just the ball joints just pop off a lot. So for a kid's toy, that's the problem. But for me, it's not really a big issue.
That's
But
the
good
issue with
move,
ball joints sometimes versus like pegs.
right? But yeah, like Sudan just came off, but easily pops back on. But the articulation's really good on all these. But you just have to keep doing that.
Oh,
Popping them back on. Tail just came off. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Other than that, $25. You put it on the shelf. It looks really good. Very articulated. Um, Also, Mecha Godzilla, same way. Jaw comes off, same. This is from what I said, 2002. Yeah. Again, tail comes off, leg comes off pretty easily.
yeah, that
But
Mecha Godzilla is
they
nice.
look good. Very, very articulated. Um, so if you're a Godzilla fan, $25, it's not a bad deal. This is the only Godzilla -1 figure I've found so far. It came with a blast effect, but if you've seen -1, he has the blue light up
Yeah,
that before he blasts. So displaying wise, no point in putting the blast effect on there unless they make a new one.
yeah.
So, um,
When are we getting the '97 movie Godzilla?
they may eventually make that. I mean, it's got its own following. The Toho just doesn't call it Godzilla; they just call it Zilla. But I mean, he's a part of the universe, so. But not bad figures for $25. Then you have the Toho. I think it's Bandai makes these too. Yeah, these are the limited articulation, pretty much airborne plastic. But these are the most popular, I think, out of all. And if you get them from Japan, they come with this little tag on there. And apparently, people put like baseball card sleeves on these and leave these on. I've cut them off of all of them. This is the first one I haven't. But
Interesting.
it's basically the same ones that Bandai used to put where you'd see them at Walmart, where they had limited articulation.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of companies doing Godzilla stuff right now.
Right. I mean, there's a big resurgence of Godzilla, and it's pretty cool. But Biolante was like the second movie I think I ever saw. So I loved him, and I used to have the Trendmaster version of him. So I picked him up recently. I think I got this at the Retro Toy Con with Scott Hughes. Did I get this, Scott? You were there. You might have remembered. I think I bought this there. I got a couple other Godzilla stuff too, but yeah, Playmates is doing a good job too. But I mean, theirs looks like toys. Yeah, Scott says yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
is it Super 7 doing Godzilla now too? For like $60.
Super Seven has theirs on too, but yeah, they're expensive, and I hear there's paint rub on the legs when you move them. So I've just for the most part avoided Super Seven
I don't think I've ever bought
unless I can go cheap.
Super 7 figure.
What's that?
I don't think I've ever bought a Super 7 figure to this day.
This is a Playmates figure, so it's got some range and stuff. Um, Not the greatest paint, but I mean, for a toy for a kid, that's really good. And they have a huge line. They're coming out with like series wave 2 or something of them. They're pretty good. So, but yeah, I cannot believe Chad is still not here. He gets stuck at the grocery store. he messaged or anything? No?
He hasn't messaged me.
What's that?
He didn't send me anything, so
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully nothing bad.
making sure he's not sending me memes.
Well, hopefully he's okay. I know we give each other a hard time all the time, but he's a good friend. So, what haven't I talked about? I forget. Does chat even care?
Superman.
Oh yeah. I picked up these recently from GameStop. They just look really good. The Batman and Superman.
Those are McFarlane, right?
They're McFarlane, but they're looking so much better. Closer to the Kenner style.
And those are fully in scale now with the Kenner figures, right?
Right. Unless they do a specialty one like of a certain point, like a newer Batman, he'll do a different sculpt. He won't just do the same paint over this one. He'll do and it'll be a little different size. Like he had not Earth 2, but Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah.
And that one is a little bit taller, I believe. But all of his classic stuff seems to fit in with the original Kenner line. And the capes are very similar. Got the S on the cape. So they look pretty good there. I've sent Chad a messenger. He's stuck in the dryer. Help him step. Scuba Pete. Is Scuba here?
No, I don't. I think just making a joke.
All right. Are you a wrestling fan?
I never got into wrestling. It was never something we grew up with. It just wasn't. I think it's interesting, but
yeah. Well, I kind of look at it like a 80s cartoon. It's got a lot of nostalgia and it's fun to watch. But yeah, you kind of know what you're getting when you watch it.
Yeah.
It's hey, I want to say just to the side here, how proud I am that my camera has not frozen up at the top since I did TV meltdown a little while ago.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What does George say? Scuba was on Shabby's live stream an hour ago. Oh, okay. I got you. Did I go over on that? I'm sorry if I did. It's so hard to keep up with who's doing streams and who's not.
Well, it's a weird time of the year with the holidays and everybody's schedules all over the place.
Yeah, I try not to stream when friends are streaming. Like I was going to stream yesterday, but then I saw Michael's doing a stream, and then 3POA was doing a stream right after that, and I was like, I don't want to step on toes. I'm gonna show up, watch those streams, and then I'll do something tomorrow. I had today off, so it was nice. But yeah, I haven't talked to Scuba in a while. I need to. But yeah, as far as wrestlers go, I like some of the new stuff, like Cody Rhodes. I got this new Ultimates figure.
It's from Mattel?
It is from Mattel. Pretty good figure. I wish you could go back more because I tried to do the pose, but he actually goes back further, and you can't do that with this one. The neck won't go; it just pops off. I actually have to put it on halfway just to get it to go back enough.
Just because of the jacket.
No, because of his neck joint.
Oh,
One thing I think they talked about it last night on 3POA, but they were talking about wrestling figures and how Mattel's neck joints are like too low on the head, and I agree. But I also agree that they don't have any movement either, and that may be because they're so low on the head. So I have to like bring it up part ways just to have it to where it can even look up. So it's a real pain. But going back to old school, I got Tugboat. Um, I've got two of his figures. I've got him and his tag team Typhoon and Earthquake, but I don't have Earthquake yet. But he was one of the original '80s figures that I used to love. In fact, I think he had a LGN rubber figure at some point. Then you have the Undertaker's manager, Paul. There, gotta have. I wish Ryan were here. He could do a great impression of Paul Bear. Uh, but yeah, I have a bunch of Undertakers. I don't. That's the first one of him I've had. Then one of my favorite tag teams growing up was the Steiner brothers, and yeah, it's nice to have them in their original outfits. That one's pretty cool. They had the coats too, but they don't have the I think it's Michigan M on them
oh yeah, because
for reason. So I may try to see if I can find those and like glue them on or sew them on or something. That'd be kind of cool. Um, but yeah, the figures look good. And then I have the Outsiders from NWO. So you probably didn't watch this either, did you?
no, I mean, I'm just surprised with how deep Mattel goes into their stuff.
Oh yeah, they go. Especially their more popular characters. They, as long as they still have uh, signed with WWE or haven't like Sting figures. They don't really make any more Sting figures. I wish they would because Sting has such a long history in WCW and a little bit in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
but his WCW area has not. He's had a few figures, but they were at the beginning of the Elite era style, so they're uh, they're not on the good side. But he's over at AEW now, so they're not making anything of him. And the AEW figures are not bad, but they're just not accurate. Um, I've created 3 looks that are accurate so far, and I got a couple other figures on pre-order, like his Reaper Sting and
Yeah.
stuff. I know you don't. This means nothing to you, but to someone who knows wrestling may know what I'm talking about. Sting's my favorite wrestler, with Hulk Hogan being second and Ric Flair being third. They're my trinity, and then I have a lot of others I love that are right in line with them. Like I wasn't gonna pull this one out, but I got like Hogan, one of his last appearances where he actually looks like an older Hulk Hogan.
Yep, but still tan to the max.
Oh yeah, he was till the end. But they made this is I don't know if this was from the vault or this is a new figure, but I mean it is a new figure, but I mean it's like it's got his tattoos on him and stuff. So it's not bad, but I have 35 Hulk Hogan's. I think 30 of those are are elite figures from different eras. There's one I don't have that's not elite, unfortunately, that is from his WrestleMania 2 or 3. I can't remember which one, but like I have all those Hogans. I think I'm missing 3 of his elite figures. So, and if they did that with Sting, I would buy every single one of those. What is Jimmy saying? It always takes a minute for it to click on my screen. Oh, it's over on here. I received my custom head from Mark II Design that I had scanned at Jolana. It is awesome. My 2-year-old granddaughter recognized it as me. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I love my head sculpt.
That's sweet.
He's working on something for me, but I was supposed to message him. He said if I hadn't heard from him in 2 months, message him, and that was 3.5 months ago. And so I messaged him over Christmas. Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
Who are you? He said, "Who are you?"
He remembers me. He still has the head sculpt on there. But yeah, if Jimmy, if you haven't seen not my most recent, but the one right before that of my YouTube shorts, I did a quick short video showing off the head sculpt on my Steel Brigade figure, or I put it on a Steel Brigade commander head. So please go check that out. That would be awesome. Nikatrona says, wish the WWE figs had ball joints at the waist like Action Force and Classified. I agree. That is another problem with the Elites and Ultimates that they don't have.
Are they just swivel?
Yeah, they're always swivel. And they still have that crunch and swivel. So it's a real pain in the butt. They don't do that. Every single one of them. Even Tugboat.
Well, at least it's consistent.
Yeah, they're consistent, but they need to update those. There's a lot of updating they need to do. Fix the neck joints, make them a little bit higher and more maneuverable. I mean, you have wrestlers who are doing stunts. They're moving their bodies in weird ways.
Yeah, so having a torso rocker would be a little bit better than just
exactly. I can't remember if I think AEW figures do, but I don't have any on hand, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But yeah, he must be busy. It took a while longer than he said it would. Well worth the wait, though. I put mine on a Steel Brigade too. Yeah, I think he's been doing a lot of other cons and stuff too. So
he does work for Bobby Valverse. So
oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. So he's been probably very busy. Ted says, I've watched way more behind the scenes wrestling than actual wrestling. Yeah, you can go down a rabbit hole with that. I have like the 2 or 3 seasons of the AEW on my Plex that I haven't watched yet. I've watched maybe 2 episodes, but I watched the Cody Rhodes story one before he became it was like a year ago, and before he became the world champion, and Ric Flair's most recent one. But yeah, I think that's all I got on figures. We can just chit chat. Stop that one. So, what time is it? 6:42.
Yeah.
Nicotrona says AEW do, but it's inferior plastic quality. I agree, which is kind of mind blowing since Gentle Giant creates all of their sculpts. Yeah, I've gotten. I feel like the the joints and everything are really good on the few figures I do have, but you're right, the look of the sculpts is just poor compared to the WWE elites. The just the quality. Because like I said, I have 7 or 8 stings from that from Jazzwares, and I like them, but you can tell the quality isn't to par. Um, and here's another thing, a little complaint with they have the ultimate version of AEW's figures. Right now, you can go in a Walmart, you can find Sting in there with face paint worn off and a regular face paint, and you can change out the coat and stuff and put on these t-shirts and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I don't remember him wearing those shirts. Those are shirts that you sell in the store,
Well,
and he
yeah,
may
my,
have been a promotional once, but he wears a short jacket a lot of the times in the AEW era. Should have had that jacket in there. Then you can make a lot of different outfits with the long jacket and the short jacket. And I could have bought way more. Like, I bought 3 sets and like changed them up and everything. But without that jacket, I mean, it's just. I mean, you need that jacket for a lot of his figures. Again, I know you don't know, but
I'll pretend I know.
so what's that?
I'll pretend that I know.
Well, let me educate you. George says, "Do you feel that GI Joe classifieds are getting cheaper quality plastic on their accessories?" No, I just think they've been cheap all along.
I don't know. I haven't bought a classified figure in over a year, so
I think the sculpts are getting better with the accessories. I just don't think the quality of plastic is good.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to cut costs again.
Yeah. Nick Jonas says, yeah, Jeremy Padower keeps the same guys from his Jack's days of WWFE. Padower? Jeremy Padower keeps. He wasn't talking to Jeremy. He was talking about Jeremy Padower. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Jeff says, I have stopped by buying classified unless I find them on sale. Just not worth it, in my opinion. I'm still buying. I just have slimmed down a lot on the troopers and the other stuff. Like, I mean, I've set them up here with like by kind of by year of 84 or 82, 83, 84, but with classifieds and what they've actually released.
Yeah.
So, and then I have the extras and teams down on the bottom shelves and stuff, and then Cobra. I was just getting a little out of hand with all the extra weird stuff. So there's been a few I don't have that I wish I did, like Big Ben. I never saw him, never got a chance to get him. And I
Well,
think
they
there's
never put. I mean, they'll probably put him out non-Night Force at some point. Would be my guess.
right, yeah, but yeah, it's. I need Flash and Steeler or we got Steeler, don't we? We need Flash and
No, I think we're still waiting on Steeler
we are still Breaker's the one we got. Yeah, I need a Steeler
and Short Fuse.
and Short Fuse. Yeah, you're right. I think they're copying Valiverse. Well, that's a given. But I mean, that's not a problem with like I'm not like you're copying Valiverse. I don't care. Do it. Copy them. Get better. I love when two competing people make each other better. They make each other. I mean, WWF became better because WCW stepped up their game. WCW stepped up. WWF stepped up and became some of the most popular wrestling. They help each other when they do that.
Well, yeah, that's the benefit of having competition.
Marvel and DC. When they used to go, DC's better than Marvel. Marvel's better than DC. Marvel's got this going out. Well, DC's got this coming out, and they would just try to topple each other. It makes you better when you have competition, and we need more of it. So I'm very happy that they're copying Valiverse because Valiverse is really good, and if I get really good GI Joes because of Valiverse, then thank you. Sorry, he owns the AEW Jazzverse. Okay, gotcha. Problem with AEW is it's just not catching. Like, it's so all over the place, and they're not. You got some talent over there, but I just don't care. It's like I watched when Sting was there, but after he left, it just seemed like, I don't know. I feel like they need to step up their game. I think Big Ben is still available at Hasbro Pulse. I never saw him on Hasbro Pulse, but I could be wrong. But if he is night, I mean, I would buy. I got Night Force stuff down here, so I could do that. Do you think they will do a HasLab with Steeler and Mobat? Ooh,
See, in my mind, I don't think the Mobat is big enough to needed to be HasLab, but
yeah.
I mean, the Mobat's not. I guess it depends on what they want to do with it. Do they want to just because the original Mobat's not? It's not very big. I mean, the figure can't even go all the way into it.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than the. I don't know. I mean, they did the Dragonfly, and it's not that much bigger than the tank, so I could see them doing the tank.
I think the Mauler would be a better HasLab than the Mobat, but
yeah. Oh. I'd just be okay with the figure. I got the smaller vehicles. I don't think I would buy. I would do the HasLab. I didn't do the Dragonfly. I did the Hiss, but I'm not. I'm not doing any more of the big. I just don't have the room. So I just prefer the figure on a retro card. Jeff says, for the longest time, that Big Ben was $37 online at Walmart. I was not going to buy him, but then he went on sale for $20, so I caved and got him. I think that's why I didn't buy him initially, is because he was so expensive. I do believe that's the reason I haven't bought a lot of the figures, unless I find them on sale. Or, I mean, I'll pay $25 hesitantly, but past that, you better be a good deal. So yeah. Nicotrona says, yeah, AEW is as lame as it gets. I hate that too. There's some bug flying in here. Says classified vehicles end up in toy aisles. Better off getting a 3D printer and printing your own vehicles. I wouldn't know where to begin with that. I can see that. Go back to that one. I can see doing that for like weapons and effects and stuff like that. But for a whole vehicle, I mean, I mean, I don't know how easy that would be, but it just seems like a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, it seems like it would take a lot of time, but
Yeah, and a lot of money for the material. Lou says, I keep saying the same thing in regards to having the room, but I've caved in and gotten a lot of the vehicles this year. Yeah. I mean, they do look good. I've gotten two Vanguards with a third one on the way. And I've gotten two Ramen Racers. I got the Dukes of Hazard one and the Ghost Rider one.
did you get the DeLorean?
I did not get the DeLorean. I have a Playmobil DeLorean and a Lego DeLorean and a Transformers DeLorean, and I have two NECA figures. That's it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I can't get into all that. I wanted the two Ghostbuster vehicles, but it was so expensive. Again, that's another thing, the money
Yep.
involved in buying a big one. I would have loved to gotten the at least the original one to go with the figures, but even that one I thought was like way too expensive.
It was
Um,
what, 300 for just the car, then 400 for the car with the Ghostbusters 2 figures?
I think it was 350, wasn't it? 350 and
I'm
450.
not sure.
I couldn't. It was going to be, yeah. It was going to be a chunk of change, and I just couldn't pull that trigger. I wanted it. I wanted them both. I would have displayed both.
Well, let's just hope you don't want it later because it's probably going to be double the price.
I just figure I got to get financially secure in my life, and then I can afford anything. That's the thing that keeps me going when I go, oh well, I'll miss it this time because one day it'll be like buying a hamburger. It won't matter. uh what did George say? Last thing I got was I thought it said a squirrel. A squirrel and it went too bad. Nicotrona says it does take time and a filament, but it ends up being far less if you are printing it yourself. Okay. What's up, Kent?
Hey, kid.
Welcome. So, what's your? I know we kind of talked in chat. Your feelings on the PowerCon Toylanta merge, because I know you liked PowerCon.
Well, PowerCon was close for me. It's like all these conventions that's close to you. I don't really. There's PowerCon was kind of one of the big ones for Ohio. So,
Right.
but also them pitching it to Toylanta means it's in March, and just with my job and my busy seasons, basically anything through May, I can't do any conventions until after May. So,
Right.
but
That
it's
makes sense. I thought it was an odd thing because I just don't see how you merge the two unless you just can't afford one.
well, that's like what Laserband said, right? He's probably still paying off 2023 show, which is a shame because the 2023 show was great. It was a great show,
All right.
but
To a lot of costs of that show that weren't needed. Maybe the influencers weren't necessary to pay.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's interesting that I don't think it's good for the convention to constantly be moving. I mean, they were in California, then moved to Ohio for 2 years. Now they're pitching their tent with Toylanta. Like, there's no consistency. We're with like DFW and Joe Fest. You kind of know where those shows are going to be every year.
Right.
Toylanta.
See, I didn't even know that. Like, I've been to Toylanta for the past 4 or 5 years, going with Michael French and for quite a few years, and Scott Hughes 1 or 2 years. I can't remember how many with him. So I've been to Toylanta, but I thought Joe Lana was Toylanta by a new name.
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard Joe Lana was going on. So this Joe Lana was the first time I'd ever been. They moved the location to a whole new location, and it was it was cool, but it was a little further out than where it was initially. And I think the hurricane really hurt it, but it
Well, yeah.
looked
I mean,
like
if you were coming from north, I mean, it was almost impossible to get there going south. I mean,
right.
with going through Tennessee and stuff, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember B. Connolly and Blue Serendipity were having trouble coming when they were coming that way. It was definitely a pain in the butt, but even so, the the room we were in was probably on par with Joe Fest, but I felt like there wasn't as many vendors.
Well, that could have
It
been
was
that
very open,
vendors.
and
Yeah,
you could have had a lot more in there. And I think that may be why they're partnering up with PowerCon for Toylanta so that you can add more. But Toylanta was packed, but the the Joe Lanta didn't seem that. But they were in two different locations, so I don't know.
my concern is, well, my thought is, if you're combining PowerCon and Toylanta, PowerCon is losing its individual identity then as its
Yeah,
own con. It's just part of another con. It's not its own thing anymore.
right. Well, I'm wondering. That's makes me wonder: is Toylanta going to become PowerCon at this new location?
I don't think so. I think Toylanta has a better name presence than PowerCon probably does right now.
You think?
PowerCon, once they left California, I think it moved a lot of Masters people away from it.
Yeah. Uh, it would be convenient for us Georgia boys. I had decided not to go to any out of state cons this year due to the cost, so I'm happy about it. Yeah, cost is the main reason I didn't go to DFW and or PowerCon and stuff. I mean, it's out of my budget once you add uh, all the extra expenses just to get there. And
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the future I'll be able to, but it all comes down to timing and cost. So I don't know, but it is wild that so many cons. I never knew there were so many toy cons within uh, driving distance of me until I started hanging out with you guys. So I'll only ever went to Dragon Con. So Jimmy says, I think the hurricane was the biggest issue, not the change of venue. Yeah. Yeah, the new venue location wasn't bad. The hotel we stayed in was horrible. It was a Holiday Inn, but um, I'm I think they may have had water damage from the hurricane. Um, Lou says Jolana became Toylanta a number of years ago. Then in 2022, they decided to bring back Jolana as a separate convention. Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah, Jolana is still getting its legs back. This year's was hurt a lot by the hurricane for sure. Yeah, I know a lot of people never showed up that bought the tickets. Uh, I would love to get the new 4-inch Red Shadows.
The Fresh Monkey Fiction, not Red Shadows. Those ones. I don't know if they're. I think they went out of stock. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with those. I've never bought anything from Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
So what you working on lately?
Nothing down the immediate pipeline. I put out that video about my Power Commandos figures. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything on the immediate horizon. Like I said, I'm about to get super busy at work, so it's going to be probably a little radio silence on my end. Maybe try to get one or two videos done. But
All right. I mean, that's why I haven't streamed in so long. It's just been so busy and with work and, family and stuff. I mean, I love doing this, but this is a hobby for me and
yeah,
I love hanging out with you guys. But, it's last in line when it comes to priorities in my life. So,
yeah. I mean, I've always got some Leonard stuff that I'm kind of working on in the background, just trying to get some pieces to be able to do. I'm hoping to do a video on Olmec's bronze bombers line of figures.
yeah.
So,
What'd you think of the not Dino Riders core? It's basically the core on dinosaurs.
yeah, I mean, like I said, but my area, the core kind of like Leonard kind of stops around 2003. Basically, once
Yeah.
they switched out of O-ring stuff, I'm familiar with it. I'm not. It's like I said, this style of construction, the T crotch that they use, I just think is
Right.
very outdated. It's like either, at this point, switch to like more articulated stuff or just go back to the O-ring. Like the T crotch design, I don't think anybody's that big of a fan of. I mean,
Right.
Joe only did it for like a year because nobody liked it. So
Is that the wide stance ones?
yeah, where it's
Yeah, I think I have those somewhere. I may have put them away.
like with everyone else's like figures, like 4-inch figures nowadays. Like I think it's time that Leonard maybe invests in some new tooling.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think they haven't? I mean, it's like it's been 20
Because
plus years now.
it sells well enough for what it is, and they don't have to put any money into it. They already have the molds. Just rerun the molds in a different color, put them in new packaging, and put them out, and people will buy them.
I'm okay with reuse, but I mean,
They're not that big of a toy company. I think is the other thing, and it's
but they
they're
put money towards like Primal Rage and Predator, Alien and Predator, or King Kong, or the dinosaur stuff. They'll put the money towards that.
yeah. I mean,
But there's a niche right now with 4-inch. Not Joe's not being out there. They could really take the market if they
from
wanted to.
what I've gathered is they don't care about the collector market at all as a toy company. They said we're going to make toys, we're going to put them on Walmart shelves, and that kids buy them. They could care less about the kind of what the collector market is at this point.
Right.
Which is interesting because it's different than what you see a lot of other companies do. But also if you think, from what I understand, the core is only a small percentage of the toys that they put out. They've got a bunch of other things that I think, that they've got a bunch of other lines that they do too. So
What do they make? I'm not even aware of other stuff.
it's not really like action figures. It's like I don't know. They post stuff about it on their Facebook page occasionally. Yeah, like these this is, but like little like tool sets like for kids, like kids tool sets and like chainsaws, like role play
Yeah.
toys. So
I got you. Okay.
I think from their standpoint, it's working for them now. The core is only a small percentage. We're just going to keep using the same figures, and if we get the license for late Aliens or King Kong, we'll do a couple new things for that. But
heck, I'd be happy with just some new head sculpts. I mean, use the same bodies in different configurations, but give us some new heads, new people.
yeah.
That would be great. Instead of the same
But
guy.
hey, at the same time during the O-Ring, I mean they were using some of the same molds from '86 to 2003.
Yeah.
And I don't complain about that as much as I do with the modern stuff, but it's their business model. So
I mean, some of the figures don't look bad. It's just that when you see them over and over and over again, and you're like trying to buy them, and you're like, okay, this is the same figure. I have 5 of the same figure. It's aggravating. It's definitely aggravating. I've had this on the screen for a while. Lou says, Drew, you haven't picked up any Monster Force. I'm still on the fence. I have not. It's just another line that looks cool. My money's going to too many other places to go into a new pocket. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. There's very few things that outside that I'm venturing into. I mean, I just started getting Godzilla Haya toys, so that's hitting the budget pretty hard. Valaverse, I'm constantly buying new stuff with them, so I'm getting the Muddy Vanguard gray. Basically,
those are the only 2 I have. I have the muddy ones.
Well, I got the 2 pre-orders with the extra stuff, and I think I'm gonna take the muddy one and replace it with my one I have with my Steel Brigades, and then take this one, and when the expansion pack comes out with the grill,
yeah,
shovel, and the things on it, I'll use that one for that display. So yeah, constantly getting more of that. I guess Chad's not coming tonight. Hope everyone can come to see him. Maximilian Tucker, hello, fellow kids. Good to see you, man. Kent says, anybody have luck at Ross hunting this year? Compared to everyone else, no. What'd you say?
I don't have Rosses by me.
Oh, really?
I mean, we have Ollies, but
yeah, Ollies are nice. Ross, I've picked up a few things. I don't think anything on this table came from Ross. I did get a couple of the Galaxy things from Ross. You can find some of the specialized versions of these. They're like brown versions of these. But I have the gray version, so I don't really need a brown one too. I have the regular. This just keep spitting them out. I want new figures. I have the Rat King. I have, I think Shredder. So, but no, I haven't really seen much at Ross this year as far as pickups. Max says, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of people narrowing down their collections. Yeah. I've kind of liked that Hasbro has slimmed down what they're putting out because it's helped me refigure what I'm wanting to get. I have skipped out on a lot of stuff, but I still buy a lot from them. I do hate that they discontinued the Lightning collection because a lot of teams incomplete. I wish I could complete those teams. Then I'd be happy. But yeah, it's definitely helped. Scott says, "Wait, Embargo. I thought you had every Vanguard, including the pink one."
Well, the pink one's my wife's. It's not mine. But I just have the two muddies. I don't have the standard ones yet.
That's the other Vargo. Lou says, "No luck at Ross for me, but I haven't been looking very hard. I did find a McFarlane Pacific Rim figure. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. It's very limited articulate. It looks like it's got a comic book with it. I didn't open it, but it was like $3, so I picked it up. Because it's kaiju, and I have to.
And it was $3.
It's $3 exactly. But I did forget to talk about these. So I found a. You'll love this because you display your stuff. I found a hack for displaying. Do you have a Hobby Lobby near you?
Yes.
Okay. If you go to Hobby Lobby, you can pick up. Turn the other camera back on. These baseball containers for $1.99. You can see the price right there. It's $1.99.
Yep.
They're just here, like that, $1.99. When you buy them, you take them out. They look like this.
Yeah, it's just an acrylic cube.
Right. So you got an acrylic cube for $2. But what's awesome about these is, you can use that, good support and everything. They come apart.
So you get like two risers almost.
So you got two risers, basically $1 a piece. So, like, that's what the Superman and can you see it? There you go. Here, get those out of the way.
Timber.
But yeah, they're just sitting on the stands like that. So it's a great way to utilize risers for cheap. So highly recommend that. Like if you look at my G.I. Joes, like you can see all of them are on those risers now. So you can see them in the back behind so much better. You better look at that shirt. I love that. But yeah. So if you're looking to display your figures, it's pretty awesome. Max says that's a solid hack. Yes. He also says now that 1,000 Toys is out of business, I don't know who that is. I've narrowed my collection down to Classified and Action Force. Even sold off my complete War for Cybertron Transformers collection. Wow. Sorry, I was getting a phone call.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I've noticed are really slimming down on what they're actually collecting.
Now, Max, is that the video game or the Siege Kingdom and what's the one in between? I can't think of it in a moment. Siege Kingdom and Earthrise. Or is it the video game figures? Scott says my Ross has been covered with Super 7 stuff. I haven't seen much Super 7. That was the trilogy collection: Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. I don't know if you can see behind me back here, but I have a ton of the Transformers back there. A lot of those that you're talking about are in there. Had to rent a U-Haul to haul it to Dallas Vintage Toys. Wow. Ken says, I have only been able to find the retro Transformers at my Ross. Retro Transformers at Ross. I have yet to find retro Transformers at Ross. That's awesome. I just saw. How long ago did you send that?
I just sent it.
Oh, okay. I just saw that. All right, man. Well, yeah, it looks like Chad's not coming tonight, so I'm gonna have to replace your logo with his, and then send him a scathing letter.
A scathing Yelp review.
Scathing Yelp review. I'm just kidding. I love Chad. I hope everything's okay. He gets stuck at the grocery store.
Yeah.
On an old lady trying to get grapes. But anyway, thank you for coming on, man. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a while, so.
Yeah, it has been. I think the last stream said 4 months. I'm gonna try to do more, but I mean, if it's you know.
Yeah, for us, this is we're not as intense like Chad and 3POA is with having things scheduled all the time, and
it really is. It's really just hanging with friends and meeting some more people that love the hobby and becoming friends with them too. So that's what's great about this. Not really much to it. Sharing off some of my collections, sharing some of yours, talking about things we love, the things we criticize, critique, whatever words you want to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy when you come on, and many others that have been on before. And I hope to do it again in the near future.
Yep.
Where can they find you?
So I am pretty much Mvargo97 on YouTube. It's also my personal Instagram. I also have another Instagram, Varjos, which I kind of post. It's a little more collection based. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much where I'm at. I do stuff whenever I get around to it. Sometimes you'll notice I might put out 3 videos a month, and sometimes you might not get a video for a month. So
yeah, I have been talking about doing a new room tour for probably 6 months now, but I've had issues come up that kept me from doing it. And the way I want to do it, I don't want to just do and here's this toy, and here's this toy, and there's this toy, because I find myself, especially once you have the stuff, you tend to go, okay, what are you trying to show me?
yeah,
I want to see how you display. I want to see the backstories of it and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that, but with no cameraman. I'm trying to figure it out how to film it all by myself, being in front and behind the camera at the same time, kind of style. And I'm putting in a new water heater in the other room, so everything's kind of been trashed, and that's where I want to start. So that's been a hold up. So I've been trying to put out a few more shorts lately just to kind of get the algorithm going again and go from there. But maybe I'll get to be on one of the other streams soon. I haven't been on anyone's stream other than members only in a long time.
Well, yeah, I haven't done a stream since March. maybe. I don't stream very often on my channel though.
Yeah. Get last bit of chats here. Great conversation, guys. Thank you. Scott said he sent me a bunch of Ross pictures. I'll check those out as soon as the show's over, man. Thank you. Jimmy says Albuquerque, New Mexico is a dangerous place. Maybe he is having to lay down some hate. Isn't that where you're supposed to like turn certain way at or something? If you make a wrong turn, you're
I don't know. Albuquerque's where they filmed, is where Breaking Bad takes place.
Oh. Gotcha. Jimmy says, get an AI Morgan Freeman to narrate your toy room video. That would be funny. It was a long collection, very deep, but he managed to get it one figure at a time. Max says, you guys look like you're doing a pretty good job. We try to do our best. JLS says, use a drone to fly around the room. You can control it from where you're sitting now. I've thought about that, but that thing would go knock everything over.
Until you accidentally hit one of your shelves and everything falls over.
It's just a wind tunnel of it. I do have a drone, but I've thought about trying something with it. Bugs Bunny took a wrong turn there one time. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew there was something with it. It's the suburbs in Albuquerque. They'll get you. And Lou says, always take a left at Albuquerque. There you go. All right. With that, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
It was fun catching up, hanging out, and yeah, let's do it again. Maybe when I have my new computer and I won't have so many issues.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. Wait in the back room. I'm gonna say something to you before.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, and just since Chad wasn't here, have an awesome day.
My screen froze. As soon as you said that. I was trying to play the outro, but it froze up on me. Okay, now say it.
Have an awesome day. I think we're